Hello everyone, welcome back to BioVidyalaya. This is part 2 of complement system and our previous lecture video was an introduction video about complement system, and in that video we discussed that there are three types of complement activation pathway: classical pathway, alternative pathway and lectin pathway. Here in this video we are going to discuss about classical complement activation pathway. So let's begin. The classical complement activation pathway commonly begins with the formation of soluble antigen antibody complex or immune complex, or with the binding of antibody to antigen on a suitable target such as bacterial cell. Here this is the bacterial cell, here antibody is bounded with that one. Here this is the soluble antigen antibody complex or immune complex. This is the antigen. And IgM and certain subclasses of IgG like Ig1, Ig2, Ig3 can activate the classical complement activation pathway. And the initial stages of activation involve C1, C2, C3 and C4, which are present in inactive form in our plasma. Before going to discuss the details about the classical pathway, let's see the structure of C1 complement protein. The structure is different from the rest of the complement protein. So let's see that first. So this is the structure of complement protein 1. Okay. And this is a serum macromolecule, and it is a complex structure composed of C1q, C1r and C1s. They are held together to form C1QR2S2 complex. So this complex consisting of C1q, two molecules of each C1R and C1S. That's why it is called C1QR2S2. Here, this C1q, it is composed of 18 polypeptide chains that are associated to form 6 collagen-like triple helical arms. You can see that here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triple helical arms are there. Triple helical arms means that in one arm 3 polypeptide chains are there. Totally 18 polypeptide chains are there in C1q, and that are arranged in 6 triple helix. Okay. And here this globular domain, there are 6 globular domain is there. This globular domain is C1q's globular domain is interact with Fc region of antibody. Here this is the C1R and this is C1S. It contains catalytic domain and interaction domain. Here this is the catalytic domain. Here this is the interaction domain. This will interact with the C1q. Here you can see that, and also it will connect this catalytic unit together. That is the function of interaction domain. So that's all about the structure of complement protein 1. Let's see the details about classical complement activation pathway. This classical complement activation pathway is antibody dependent pathway because that is begins with the formation of antigen antibody complex or immune complex. So here I told you that the globular domain of complement protein, that means C1q's globular domain will bind with the Fc portion of antibody. The formation of antigen antibody complex induce the conformation changes in the Fc portion of IgM molecule that expose a binding site for C1 component of the complement system. So this C1 component, that means the globular domain of this C1 will bind with the Fc region of this antibody, or this antibody may be IgG or IgM, and this binding of C1q to Fc binding site induces conformational changes in C1R, and that converts C1R to an active serine protease enzyme, and the C1R that will cleave C1s to a similar active enzyme, and that will also get enzymatic activity. And the substrate for C1s is C4 and C2. Okay. C1q binds antigen-bound antibody. C1R activate autocatalytically and activate the second C1R. Both activate C1s. Okay, two C1Rs are there, so two C1s are there. First C1R will get activate, and after that will activate C1s. The target for C1s, C2 and C4. Let's see this next step. The second step, C1s cleaves C4 and C2. Cleaving C4 exposes the binding site for C2. C4 binds the surface near C1 and C2 binds C4, forming C3 convertase. So here in this second step, C3 convertase will form. So C1s cleaves C4 and C4 will become C4a and C4b. C4a is the smaller fragment and C4b is the larger fragment. This is the C4a and this is the C4b. And this larger fragment have enzymatically active. This is the catalytic. This contain catalytic domain, and that will expose binding site for C2, and C2 will come and bind with this C4b, and in the nearby C1s that will hydrolyzes this C2 to C2a and C2b. In the case of C2, the larger portion is C2a, and that is enzymatically active, that contain enzymatic domain or catalytic domain, and the smaller fragment, that is C2b, that will diffuse away, and that will form the complex C4b2a. That complex C4b2a is called a C3 convertase. That means that can cleave C3, or that can convert C3 into active form. That's why it is called C3 convertase. So next target for C3 convertase is C3. Okay. Third step, C3 convertase hydrolase many C3 molecules. Some combine with C3 convertase to form C5 convertase. So in the third step, C5 convertase will form. Here that C3 convertase means C4b2a, that will convert more than 200 C3 molecule. So that will convert C3, or that will hydrolysis C3 into C3a and C3b. The larger fragment is C3b, that is enzymatically active, and the smaller fragment is C3A that will diffuse away. And this C3B will bind with C3 convertase. That means that will combine with C4B2A to form another complex called C4B2A3B. This complex is called C5 convertase because this C5 convertase or this complex can hydrolyze C5. That's why it is called a C5 convertase, C4B2A3B complex. The C3B component of C5 convertase binds C5, permitting C4B2A to cleave C5. Here you can see that C5 convertase means C4B2A3B. Here this green color one is 3B. Okay. And this C3B component that will bind with C5, and this is the C5 that will bind with C5 and that will alter the conformation. So C4B2A component can cleave C5 into C5B and C5A. C5A will diffuse away and C5B can attach to the next complement component or complement protein, that is C6. Let's see the next step. The final step is the formation of membrane attack complex. C5b binds C6, initiating the formation of membrane attack complex. Here, C5b will command that will attach to the surface of target cell, and this C5 will be inactive within 2 minutes unless C6 binds and stabilize its activity. C5b will bind with C6. After that C7 will come and that will bind with C5b6 and C8 also come and bind to form C5b6, 7, 8 complex, and that will create a pose of approximately 10 Armstrong. And the final step is the formation of and the final step is the binding and polymerization of C9. This is C9. And approximately 10 to 70 molecule of C9 can bound and polymerize this single C5B67 complex. Okay. And the completed MAC. This is the completed MAC, and this is the tubular form. Here you can see that this is a tubular form, and functional pore size is about 17 to 100 Armstrong. That consisting of C5B678 complex surrounded by poly C9 complex. Many C9 are present. That's why that is a polymerized C9. That's why it is called poly C9. And since ions and small molecule can diffuse freely through the central channel, and the cell cannot maintain its osmotic stability and it is killed by an influx of water and loss of electrolytes. So that this is the function of membrane attack complex. This is how complement proteins are killing or lysing target or bacterial cell by classical complement activation pathway. Okay. So classical complement activation pathway is antibody dependent pathway that begins with antigen antibody formation, and C1q of C1 complement protein, the globular domain of C1q will bind to the Fc portion of antibody, and C1s that will cleave C4 and C2 that will form C4b2a complex. C4b2a complex is called the C3 convertase. C3 convertase can hydrolysis C3, that will hydrolysis C3 into C3a and C3b. This C3b will combine with C3 convertase to form a complex called the C4b2a3b. That complex is called a C5 convertase. C5 convertase can hydrolyze C5. C5 convertase hydrolyze C5 into C5a and C5b. C5a will diffuse away and C5b can bind to the surface of target cell or the bacterial cell. And this C5 binds C6 and initiate the formation of membrane attack complex. And this C5 will bind with C6, C7, C8 to form a complex that will create a pose of approximately 10 angstrom. And this membrane attack complex or the MAC formation will complete by binding of poly C9 around this C5b678 complex, and that will create a pore size of 70 to 100 angstrom. So through this tubular pore, small molecules can diffuse freely, and so the cell cannot maintain the osmotic stability that will lead the lysis of target cell or the bacterial cell. That is the function of complement protein in classical complement activation pathway. So here I am winding up this video, and in the next video we will discuss about alternative complement activation pathway. I think this video will be helpful for you. If it is helpful, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Keep learning. Thank you.